Hey, happy Saturday. This is Chris Spiker with Minding Your Business, Lancaster Chamber of Commerce radio show.
I'm Aaron Goldstein. We are here with our first guest, Brenna Bates-Grubb from the Antelope Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And Brenna, thank you to the district for becoming members of the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, absolutely. We're thrilled, and we found a lot of connections through the chamber so far, so it's been exciting.
That's no pun intended, but that's kind of the watering hole where everybody goes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great.
Including the mosquitoes.
Yeah, definitely.
So what is the Antelope Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District?
Yeah, sure. So we are a special district that was formed in 1958 for the purpose of local mosquito abatement or mosquito control. And we abate or control mosquitoes within our district boundaries, which does include most of Palmdale, Lancaster, and Quartz Hill. Our staff does this by working year-round, treating mosquitoes in the larval stage in sources of standing water, also doing some surveillance and trapping, which tells us general ideas about the mosquito population, numbers in certain areas, what types of mosquitoes we have, and whether or not they're carrying diseases. And also, we've most recently gotten into community outreach and a little bit more publicity, which is why I'm here.
Got to tell the story. You have to tell the story about how to stop the mosquitoes, what they do.
Okay, so mosquito control is important for many reasons. Not only are mosquitoes annoying, they're a major nuisance around town, but they can carry very many diseases. So our technicians really work hard to abate them, control them. They put chemicals in the standing water to prevent the larvae from becoming adults, which is when they can create disease.
So once we kill a mosquito, the mosquito's dead?
Yes, in the larval stage. Once they're treated, they can no longer go through metamorphosis and become adults. And
how many technicians? Because I've just been driving around and I've seen them on 40th West and
Right. Yeah, so seasonally we have 11 technicians.
Wow.
Throughout mosquito season, we do have 11 techs going around town and making sure that the standing water is treated and attended to regularly.
Now, do you have a chart of all the standing water?
We do. So, yeah, we actually have a complex GIS system. All the well-known breeding areas around town are marked and attended to on a weekly basis because the mosquito life cycle does take about a week from egg to adult. So we know at some point in there we are intercepting the life cycle before they become adults and are the hazard, can bite and spread disease.
Now, I'm a bit of a camper hiker, outdoor person, and it's my experience whoever uses the most soap or has the most fragrance on their body is the one that gets bitten.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mosquitoes are attracted to sweet scents, perfumes, but most of the reason they're attracted to certain types of people is actually genetic. Most of it's just a genetic compound, the chemicals in your skin. They do like type O blood, but yeah.
Okay, so now that I've got you off the subject just a little bit, then what are the sorts of things that could be in someone's diet so maybe they wouldn't be quite so prone?
Yeah, we don't really focus too much on diet. There's no specific things that we tell people to eat or avoid. We've heard some things, some people say, oh, well, I heard B12, We focus on the importance of preventing the bite in the first place.
Right.
So eliminating the standing water where mosquitoes can breed, and also wearing repellent when you notice that mosquitoes are active. Dawn and dusk are the most prominent times, but also day biting mosquitoes, which are Aedes mosquitoes, AEDES, can bite throughout the day. So wearing repellent when you notice them present, as well as long sleeves and pants, is the best prevention.
That's right, don't give them so much skin to work with.
Right, absolutely.
So for living in the desert, now we have to have sunblock and maybe a little bug spray.
Yes. If
you're prone to that sort of thing.
Yes, so sunblock first and bug spray over.
And most of the time it's just going to be a bite. It's just a mosquito bite.
Well, that's what people think.
However, see, this is good. Tell me what it is.
The mosquitoes, they're annoying, they bite. A lot of people are allergic to their bites. They have the potential to ruin a cookout or a party, but they carry diseases. They have the potential to be very devastating. On a global scale, mosquitoes actually account for over 700,000 deaths annually because of these diseases that they can carry and transmit.
Yeah, we think we're in a civilized country here.
Right. And locally, we do deal with two types of mosquitoes. The Culex, which do have the potential to transmit West Nile virus, and do carry it locally, actually. We tested some positive mosquitoes about 3 weeks ago in the Quartz Hill area.
Yeah, did I see that on Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that was you.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
Yes, thanks.
So you treat areas around town, but do you take service requests?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, we do. So having community involvement is one of the biggest ways that we stay on top of mosquito breeding. We have techs, they're around town, they're working hard, but they can't be everywhere. So having the community pitch in and say, hey, we see some standing water over here, or I was at my son's game and there were a lot of bugs, a lot of mosquitoes, can you help us out?
Yeah.
It can help us find the source and rid the breeding spots.
So this is a dry, dusty desert. What are mosquitoes doing here?
Yeah, mosquitoes here in the desert and most of LA County actually, they're a man-made problem. So people think, well, it's dry, we don't need mosquito control, there aren't mosquitoes here, but there are in fact, and it can be anything from the way that the gutters and the ditches and the basins are designed, in the city, or it can be a source of standing water in a backyard, an unkempt pool, or a lawn that doesn't drain in one section, or where there are people, there is generally standing water kind of just by default.
And I heard tires.
Yeah. Tires are also a major source of breeding. That's something that our techs address regularly when, people dump tires or they illegally dump in the fields. The trash, the tires, these buckets, these items, tarps, whatever it might be, do build up water and become a major source of breeding.
Even when it hasn't rained for a couple of months, there still could be water out there.
There could be. If, a big rain and it just sits there stagnant, yes, it could be.
I wander around the desert a lot. I find these tires, and it is hard to get water out of a tire.
Yeah, the specific shape, with the lip and the rim and everything, it builds up in there easily, and it sits in
Do your techs work on that?
So if they notice, this is a thing in the desert that has water, if they can kick it over, they can dump it over and get rid of the source of breeding, they definitely will. Yeah. But it's not within our jurisdiction, unfortunately, to get rid of the trash. So.
Yeah, right. That's a whole nother job.
Yeah, right.
And I think mosquitoes and vector control probably used to be under LA County, but we had our own district formed, I think because we have a unique situation here. It's a unique area.
Yeah, so we are a special district, which means that we are, a government public health entity, and we are local, so we are parcel funded, from each property within our boundaries. Is what we get our funds from, and then we are able to operate at no cost to the residents for public health reasons to keep everybody safe.
I see that line on my property tax, and I go, for $7, I think that's, or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's vital, and
Very
not a lot
important.
of people realize that it is important.
What can the community do to help prevent mosquitoes?
Sure. So we like to especially harp on the importance of getting rid of standing water. Standing water is the source of mosquito breeding. And we like to tell people, just think about areas on your private property where water can build up. Buckets, kiddie pools, toys, any area where sprinklers or rain can fill up water is a source of breeding. Tip it out. In the mosquito community, we say something called tip and toss. So tip out the source of water and toss the item if you don't need it anymore. That way it's not a source of breeding.
It's just collecting there on the patio.
Sitting there collecting. If you don't need it, just get rid of it. You don't have to think about it. Again, we like to tell people to do this weekly because of the life cycle. It's 1 week.
Wow.
You take from egg to adult. Mosquitoes take about 1 week to form.
Now, can people come to your office?
Yeah, we do have an office in Lancaster, just off of L4 and 6th East. You can pop in if you have any issues, notice mosquito disturbances. You can definitely give us a call at the office, or just put in a service request online at avmosquito.org. On the prevention, thing, we also want to remind people about green pools. That is a major source of breeding around town. We actually did some surveillance and found 1,700 unkempt pools within our boundaries.
Wow.
And, one pool sitting stagnant, has the capability to breed millions of mosquitoes in a month.
Yeah, and even if
So-
it's drained out, then when it rains, now it's got a foot of
It
water.
has to be always completely dry or completely clean. Then, of course, repellent, when you notice them present, long sleeves and pants. And also just mainly the stagnant water is what we harp on.
And then
But
you have mosquito fish?
we do, yeah. So recently we were able to get our mosquito fish program up and running, which means if you have a source of standing water in your backyard, maybe a fountain, an ornamental pond, you can request mosquito fish and pick them up at no cost to you, put them in that pond, and they eat the larvae before they become hazardous mosquitoes.
So that's a green solution.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a biological, eco-friendly, completely.
What else are you doing that's green over there?
Yeah, so our chemicals are just a very fine science, and they are target specific. So they do target mosquitoes, not other types of bugs or bees. They're not harmful to humans or animals either.
Contact information for the district.
Sure. Yeah. So we have a website, avmosquito.org. Our Twitter is avmosquito. Instagram is also avmosquito. And then our phone number, 661-942-2917.
And that nice Edwin Vasquez
Yeah, he's
reminded
great.
me that we need to have you on.
Yeah, absolutely. Mover and a shaker. So glad to be
He
here.
is. Rena Bates Grubb from the Antelope Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You bet.